Well, good evening now. It's almost 7 o'clock, but just a wrap up of the work session and the council meeting for the City of Grand Rapids for Tuesday, the 26th of May. I briefly just want to touch on, we had Representative Anzelks and Senator Saxog in, and they did at the work session, the whole work session was devoted to a wrap up of the legislative session that was just completed down there. Although completed is not completed, they're going to probably have to go back for some special session stuff. But between the City of Grand Rapids and Itasca County, they brought forward requests on literally 40 different bills that would impact and affect our area up here in what we feel is a positive direction. Did we get everything that we had hoped for? Absolutely not. Did we make some progress on some of the issues down there? Absolutely. So we're going to continue to focus as we go into a special session, and as we go into the next legislative session, we'll still continue to focus on fiscal disparities, local government aid, reimbursements back to the City of Grand Rapids and stuff, and other issues that will impact Grand Rapids as we move out into the future. So that was where we'd left the work session. Moving into the regular council meeting, we had a gentleman in, Richard Bialke, looking at some modifications to the city ordinance on the use of firearms, particularly crossbows, bows and crossbows for the taking of deer within the city limits of Grand Rapids. It's been about 3 years since we've addressed that issue. There's been some changes at the DNR level that addresses from the handicap standpoint, the use of crossbows in the taking of deer. So it's time that we relook at that, and hopefully we can get some satisfactory resolution to that issue as it relates to how it was posed to us from Richard Bialke. Council reports, Ed Zabinski, Councilmember Zabinski talked at the PUC side. Tony Ward is in the process of phasing out after a long career with the Public Utilities Commission and has done a great job leading that organization. It's a organization that falls under the city's umbrella, but they run independently, and they've done very, very well from a commission standpoint and a leadership standpoint of helping to hold costs down up into and improving the wastewater treatment facilities 4 years ago after about 40 some, almost 50 years under the old equipment that we were using for water and wastewater. We've got a new facility out there. In town, we've passed some rules and regulations that our power on any new projects is all underground. You're seeing a lot less overhead hanging wires that are subject to storm damage that we typically get rarely, but when it does happen, you know, you can use some lines. So that was a positive, and we wish Tony over the next 12 to 18 months as he phases out, good luck in his pending retirement, but also good luck to the PUC and the hiring process that they'll be going through looking for Tony's replacement. Consent agenda, I'm not going to go through a whole lot on the consent agenda this evening, and I'm going to focus on public hearings and then some of the other stuff. We had 2 public hearings this evening. The first one was rather non-confrontational. It just took away some easements over some platted land up in Lakewood Heights, and what was done there was to facilitate the expansion of Majestic Pines. That was 2 easements were taken out. In order to expand in that area, you cannot expand over easement properties, so those were vacated. The second public hearing dealt with some potential expansion opportunities on the south side of that property as you go around Lakewood and into the 2 additions behind the medical facilities up there. One of the things that is happening, and I understand and I'm sympathetic to the people that were here this evening when they talk about changes to the community and changes to the neighborhood, and why does it seem to be happening out on Golf Course Road? Well, as you look at Grand Rapids from a city standpoint, and I always break it down into 4 quadrants: northeast Grand Rapids, northwest Grand Rapids, southeast and southwest. Being constricted with pipelines and power lines and everything on the north side of Grand Rapids, that really limits and impedes the development of a lot of home sites, whether it's single-family, multifamily, or developments, bigger developments that would allow for big blocks of income-based residents to occupy the same building. So where do they grow? We look right now at growing in the southwest and the southeast quadrants. And right now, because of the facilities out there, the hospital and stuff being there, out in that Golf Course Road area and in and around Horseshoe Lake, that is the logical and the prime area that people are looking at developing. So understanding where some of the residents are coming from a growth standpoint, and that their neighborhood is changing from what it was 30, 40, 50 years ago, yes, it is going to do that. But in understanding that we as a city are looking at growth opportunities, new business opportunities that come into Grand Rapids, we also have to have the housing stock that will be there, that's affordable housing that will accommodate and take into consideration that as the town grows, you have to have a place for those folks to live. So we need to weigh that, and the council has been doing that through our comp plan, and was recommended by the Planning Commission that we move forward with these changes to the comp plan, and that's a result of the unanimous vote tonight to move forward with that. Once again, certainly sympathetic and understanding to traffic flows and some of the issues that folks face out in there, but it's something that we just need to monitor and we need to take care of as we expand and grow. We authorized 2 different departments, the Civic Center, Park and Rec, and the Engineering Department. Next year, being an off year at the legislature, we'll typically look at bonding requests. The City of Grand Rapids is going to be going forward with 2 requests. One is for the arena, the flooring, which includes the cooling system that makes ice, and some handicap accessibility issues that we continue to face out there, and the roof situation on the flat roof between the two arena parts. We're looking at going for some state bonding to address those issues out there, and the number that was given was like 1.4 to a maximum that could be as much as close to 4 million. Knowing that your request is never usually what you get, we will be requesting what we think as we refine the numbers down will address the issues that we have at the Civic Center arena going forward, and hopefully we will be successful in getting some state bonding money in 2016 for that project. The other project is a pedestrian bridge that would occur between the Pekagama Avenue Bridge and the Horn Bridge out on 7th. The issue there is trying to get traffic flow, people walking and biking, secondary access without having to cross at what is becoming increasingly busy intersections and bridges. The 2 main areas that you can cross in the city of Grand Rapids are at the Horn Bridge and at Pekagama Avenue by UPM. So as we try to eliminate or alleviate some potential safety issues, the pedestrian bridge that would connect around 2nd Avenue over by the library back and forth through there, we think that is a viable option. There was some funding that was brought forward that we currently have as a city. We're seeking an additional $1 million in state bonding money to complete that project. So once completed, the funding is totally in place. That project can be completed. If not successful, the money that's currently held for that project would be going back, whether it's to IRRB or DNR, wherever that funding is coming from. So those projects are going to be going forward. We authorized staff to post for a position. Nathan Moreland is moving up, and he will at some point in time over the next 6 to 12 months move into the facilities maintenance manager position within the city of Grand Rapids. But in order for that to happen, we need to fill Nathan's position with a qualified building and fire inspector for the city. So the staff will be going out, and that'll be a posting that'll be coming up shortly. You'll be seeing that out there with the city. So we are hoping that we'll get a good, a qualified person. If we can get somebody that can work and operate the way Nathan has been operating in that position, I think that's going to bode well for the city going forward. And at that time, then Nathan can move forward into the building Facilities Maintenance Manager position. We have an agreement with Ron Edminster, who is on a phased retirement. Until that happens, Ron will continue to work for the city under his phased retirement plan. We're going to purchase a new postage machine, not a big deal there, but then we also did finally come to a memorandum of understanding with the Public Works unions, did some streamlining and some wage clarifications out there with that union. We voted to pay the bills, and we will get together again in 2 weeks. Hope everyone has had a great Memorial Day weekend. It was a little rainy yesterday, but the first part of the weekend was certainly nice. Coming up, June 6th, Open Streets in Grand Rapids. Take an opportunity to come out, use a 10-block square area from where we're currently sitting here at City Hall all the way down to Crystal Lake. Get out and see kids and adults and different things happening out in the streets, and hopefully June 6th will be a bright sunny day, and we'll have a successful event out there on the Open Streets in Grand Rapids. Take care, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.